Okay. Are we live? We are live. Okay, there we go. Okay. We are live. And tonight I have with me my wonderful and special co-host, Mollie. Mollie, say hi.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. I'm loving this little video chat recording session we have because it has helped us so much being able to get more recordings in. I love it when you're like, hey, I could do it on this date or this date. We could do it this time. And I'm like, yeah, we can. We're coordinating pretty well. And I like it.
Yeah.
So if we can get this more in, that'd be awesome because I'm trying to, as the holidays come, I'm going to have to get more recordings in ahead of time, more throughout the week, just so I can have a little bit of a break myself when the holidays come. Just because,
absolutely.
Yeah, you know how how it happens. I mean, we also got jobs and families and then putting this on top of it, I'm going to be a little burned out. And I can't do that to you guys, not my fellow listeners out there. I got to keep these rolling. And I'm actually enjoying it too. We keep getting more listeners every single day. I see us getting more downloads every single day. What I'm not seeing is a lot of likes and subscribers. Like, come on, buddy. Like, buddies. Come on, buddies out there listening. I would love... I know you guys are listening. I know a lot of you are listening. And who's listening could just do the simple little thing is just a push of a button on that screen wherever you're listening, just a little rate, rate. I'm not even telling you to rate 5 stars. I'm telling you to rate anything. I don't really care. I just want to know that people are actually listening and they're going to leave a little touch to it, knowing that they're listening. So that's one thing I could ask from all of you guys. Okay. Anyways, we're going to get right into the stories here. So, first story is, and I got some ones that are kind of all over the place. I think the theme for this episode is going to be expected or unexpected. So, if what situations are expected to happen, definitely from the story, or what's an unexpected situation that's coming up from this. Maybe something that when you hear the title, oh, that's totally expected to happen. Or when you listen to the title, you're like, yeah, that was definitely unexpected. But, that could have been one of the situations that could have definitely came from it. So, yeah, like I said, it's kind of all over the place. They're very kind of good stories and kind of some, shocker ones. So.
Nice.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I know. Man, there's a lot of them though that I've gone back to and I'm like, they have lots of good updates. So I got some good stories, and because they get longer, those ones with updates, I'm probably going to have ones that I know have at least 1 or 2 updates that are really good to have. I'll have one in each episode, because that way we don't keep the story. We don't have just 3 stories max, because one of them took an hour long to read with all the updates. So we want to keep those stories going for you guys. Okay, so this actually happened 12 hours ago. It was posted 12 hours ago. It's pretty fresh. And I remember seeing it this morning, and I was like, ooh, I might have to look into it. I might have to go back and see if anything's been updated. So far, it's a pretty hot topic one, because it's already from 12 hours, has 7,500 upvotes. So people are definitely looking into this one. So it is from r/wedding drama, and I gotta love that wedding drama. I swear, the drama happens all the time with the weddings. I got so many stories. I got to spread them out. There's one day I'm going to have an actual wedding episode theme, but I still need to pick and choose the really good ones that are kind of really nice. But this one's called Maid of Honor ghosted 10 days before the wedding and then posted this on Instagram. So it starts off as, so I'm a bridesmaid in my friend Tara's wedding for next weekend, and everything was going pretty smoothly until last Thursday. The Maid of Honor, Jess, suddenly stopped responding to any messages in the group chat. Tara had asked her to confirm her speech and arrival time for the rehearsal dinner, nothing crazy or last minute, and just disappeared. No response, no call, no email. Her red receipts were on. So we know that she saw the messages. By Sunday, Tara was freaking out. Jess had the bride's veil that she had picked up from the seamstress, and Tara didn't have a backup. We all had thought maybe there was an emergency or something serious going on, so we gave her space. Then Monday night, Jess posts on Instagram. She posts that she's at a cabin in the mountains, yoga pose, disconnecting from drama and reconnecting with myself. That was the caption. A few of us commented like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she deleted the comments. So she deleted their comments asking if she was okay. The kicker, she's in the cabin with a guy she swore she broke up with months ago. The same guy who hit on Tara at her own engagement party and caused a huge scene. Tara ended up asking me to do the Maid of Honor speech, and I'm honored, but I'm also just baffled at how someone could ghost their best friend's wedding a week before and then flex about it like it's some self-care moment. No one's heard from Jess since. She hasn't even returned the veil. So, I mean, isn't that nuts?
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, like I said, it's wedding season, so we're gonna get some crazy stories in the next few weekends here. Before we go on, so I'll go to the top comment right away because the person who wrote this did respond to that top comment. So the top comment was, "Has the wedding happened yet? Has anyone seen her since? Is this a true crime since?" And the person who wrote this OP, she said, "Wedding is this weekend, so we're still in the eye of the storm. As for Jess, total radio silence, no calls, no texts, no ghostly sightings. She still has the veil, so either she's planning a dramatic reappearance or we'll be adding her to a true crime podcast by Sunday." Which is...
So why does the Maid of Honor have the veil?
She picked it up from the seamstress, so it's probably one of her Maid of Honor duties to help out with the bride. She's probably super busy, so she probably asked, "Hey, can you get this from the seamstress?" So she picked it up, but she hasn't given it to her. And could have been like one less thing for the bride to hang on to.
Sure.
Is my guess. Honestly, it's so funny because it's like when I think of all these Maid of Honors doing all these jobs and everything, it's a lot more than what I don't know. There are brides who give a lot of work to their Maid of Honors, and then there's brides who kind of back and forth. Like, "Oh, I don't want to give you too much because I pretty much know all the things I want." I don't know. It kind of depends on the bride and who they really trust and everything. And in this case, too bad she put her trust in Jess, and Jess was not a very trusting person.
You definitely learn a lot about people when planning things, whether it's a wedding, a funeral, a graduation, like any big event. Anytime you're involving other people, you really learn a lot about people.
Yeah.
When you're planning things like that.
Yeah, you do. And just to know that she had posted about being with a guy that she had sworn she broke up with was a person who's caused issues in an event with the person that you're a Maid of Honor to. I mean, honestly, she just ghosted. So is this a situation where we're like, should we be worried about her? Or is this total like, oh, this is kind of like pick me vibes. Like, I don't want to, I don't know. I'm kind of backing off. I've done too much for the bride. It's all about her. I want something to be about me. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, it makes it sound like she wants the pursuit. She wants people to like try to find her, to seek her out, not just like try to communicate with her, but like go and try to find her.
I know, and this is the thing. Everyone is still so focused on this wedding, which I get it. It's kind of like something happens and it's something like, oh, that's bad. That seems bad. But life kind of moves on kind of scenario where it's like, well, we can't stop everything for this because it's like, it's not that important. I mean, if she doesn't want to be a part of it, I don't know. It's kind of like, they kind of like, oh, we're going to give her space. I'm like, did anyone truly try and reach out and just see if she's okay, then other than just the group chat? Someone else did comment, because I had to do some little research and scroll down a little bit more. But OP had responded to another comment that I can catch at this moment. But basically, someone else had posted, all right then, ghost her back, unfollow her, give her the who gives a crap kind of treatment. And OP had actually responded saying, honestly, that's the vibe now. Tara's done being upset, which is the bride. Tara's the bride. Tara's done being upset, she told us. No more energy on people who don't show up. We've all unfollowed her, and it's giving main character exit for Jess. She wanted peace. She got silence. So we don't know what kind of person Jess is. She might have been the Maid of Honor, but she might have been a character. She might have been a character who was not the main character in this situation, with being not the bride, and maybe she wasn't liking it. I don't know. Whether she's a character or not, I'd still be worried that she's with this guy for some reason. I don't think this is a good guy, especially if he's hitting on the bride.
Right, and not everything is about you. God, I don't know why there are so many entitled people thinking that so many things have to be about them.
Yeah, right? It's like, just be happy for someone else for having something great happen in their life.
Right. Exactly.
Like when someone's like, oh, someone's getting married, don't one-up them. Like, oh, I'm pregnant. Like, come on. Like, I hate it when they have these announcements at the worst time. And yes, they're like, they always give the excuse, well, all my family's here. All your family's here tomorrow when they help clean up, or all the family. You honestly could just send them a little cute letter with a picture of the announcement, or I don't know. Everyone's on social media these days, or send a nice call or reach out to them. But come on, stop making that excuse. Like, make the main event that's been planned forever be about those people. So,
absolutely.
I mean, honestly, here's the thing. If someone did it to my wedding, I don't think I would care, because I'm not that person that would care if the attention was off of me. Obviously, I'd be like, I honestly would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. Yay, we're going to both have an awesome day today celebrating my wedding, and now you being pregnant. So that would just be me. I look at all these people's stories, and I'm just like, I don't think I would have cared. But I get it. Like, I get it. It's your day. I get it. Let's make it about your day.
One quick thing before we move on. I would have, if I was the bride and I had arranged for my bridesmaid to do that specific task, I would have ended just ghosting her, like what we were talking about, and then gone and picked up another veil.
You're going to have to. Which sucks, because it's like in 7 days before the wedding. Yeah. And veils are not cheap, even at like a like at a secondhand store kind of dress shop. They're not cheap. They're still about like $200 probably. So I mean, sucks, but yeah, that, like she said, at least she had another bridesmaid that she could just you're gonna do the Maid of Honor speech now, and let's just make this more stressful on the bride, but we're gonna get through it. Like she said, I'm done with dealing with people who don't show up. We're not gonna worry about it. That's the best you can do. So I will definitely keep an eye on this. But let's see what happens in the next 12 hours if we get a post. Or it's 7 days. We should say in the next week when the wedding happens. That I definitely will need to keep up on. So
circle back around.
Yes. Okay. So next one is... this is from 2 months ago. It's from AITAH. So, am I the a-hole for telling my parents that I am not their son and they need to let it go? So, this one's kind of, whatever. We'll just go into it. Sorry for the confusing title, but I'll explain. My parents had 4 kids before me. I'm 19 male. My older brother and 3 older sisters. My older brother died when he was 14, before I was born. His death was what sparked my parents to have me. They were lost to grief and tried to rebirth him through me, aka had another kid and wanted to make the baby, me, my brother. My sisters were all old enough to remember our brother, to know what our parents were doing, and they didn't like it. I look so much like him except for our eyes. He had brown eyes while I have blue eyes. That's the only noticeable physical difference, but it brought out even more of the worst in my parents. There were times they were loving and all about me, but once the illusion that I was my brother was shattered, they were distant and cold. My sisters were just cold. They told me I would never be their brother and I wasn't our brother. Even though I already knew that and never thought I was him, there was a lot of anger, resentment, and rage aimed at me because they hated that our parents tried to replace him. Questions were asked in school about my name, the way I dressed, and the way my hair was done and stuff. Because my parents named me after him and they put me in his old clothes and made me keep my hair a certain length until I was until at 13 I went and shaved it all off to try and become me, not him. My sisters were all moved out at this point and only came to visit our parents. My parents never acknowledged the resentment or the rejection of my sisters to me. Whenever I tried to mention it, they would shut down because that was so unlike my brother. I had educational neglect too. I have 2 learning disabilities, but my brother never had any, so I wasn't allowed to and never got very far in school. I had to keep friends away from my house too because it was too much of a mind craziness. And when I was younger, birthday parties were a big issue because my parents' obvious grief and poor mental health meant it would be awkward around the parents and adults present. It left me answering a lot of questions. There were times my parents were faced with being told I wasn't my brother and I was their youngest son, but anyone who tried to give us help and basically walked out of our lives. It was mostly their friends, I remember, and never extended family. I don't even know if there is extended family or if they came from big or small families. The last few years I lived at home were the worst for them flip-flopping. They could go months of thinking I was him, my brother, and then months of ignoring me and shutting me out and doing nothing for me. During lockdown, in particular, it was bad. When I turned 18, my girlfriend's parents let me move in, and that's where I've been ever since. I didn't speak to my parents for over a year, but I did reach out to my sisters, and they made it clear that where they stood was not wanting me in their lives and not seeing me as their brother. That's something I'm still working on making peace with. As much as it might hurt, I don't blame them. I'm not even sure if I blame my parents, but a part of me does, I think. My parents left a long cycle of wanting nothing to do with me and reached out a bunch of times wanting me to come home and asking why I left without saying anything and telling me that they need their son back. Instead of talking over the phone or texting them back, I went to go see them. And I told them face to face that I'm not their son. I'm not that Cass that they kept trying to make me. I never will be him. And I don't think a relationship between us would be healthy. But they need to let go and accept that I'm not their son. The reason I said it like that is because they never saw me as me, only him. I had to leave right after saying it because they were both in the middle of a meltdown, and a few days later I got a DM from one of my sisters congratulating me on effing up our parents even more. That wasn't what I wanted to do, but I really don't know how to handle it. Am I the a-hole?
No.
This is absolutely crazy. Like, there are people out there like this, and it makes me so sad. So unbelievably sad for this man, for this young man to go through this. To have to go through a whole life basically being rejected, always being thought of not even his own person, but of his ghost of a brother, and that he never even got to meet. This brother died before he was even born. His sisters, which I think the parents are definitely going through an unhealthy cycle of this grief that obviously they were very crazy to have this kid as the main purpose to replace their lost son.
Yep.
And the sisters, which that makes me even more mad, is that the sisters, instead of trying to stand up after the little brother, and make him and remind parents, hey, no, this is this kid. He's his own person. Like, let him be his own person. He likes trucks. He doesn't like balls or sports and all that. Basically, they rejected him as soon as they knew what their parents were doing. So, but they still went to see the parents instead of seeing their brother, and that just, this whole thing makes me absolutely just uproared. Like, this kid has to come to the internet to explain his story, to be validated on if what he's doing, keeping away from his family, is the right thing to do.
It absolutely is.
I mean, I could go on and on and on about it, but I mean, I think what he did in the end, when he told them, I am not him. I cannot be around if you're going to treat me like I am my brother. And I don't think it'll be healthy if I stick around. I think I need to stay away. I honestly think that was the best thing for him to say. I think it was very grown and mature for him to say, like, I need to walk away. I need to give us space. And you can't expect, let's see, well, he's 19. How much more do you expect from a 19-year-old to have to tell his own parents, I am not your dead son. I am your youngest son. And I can't be with you guys anymore. I mean, I'm so glad he's got a girlfriend and her family that actually support him, because he's got no relatives. They've never even talked about extended family. The sisters won't help. At least he's got someone, but I can't imagine this whole kid going through his life, and probably his teachers and friends all being so confused. Just, so are you the brother? Are you someone else? Like, how do you have to make him go through the old clothes, keep him looking exactly like the brother? That's like a little form of torture. It's identity theft. It's literally identity theft. But he's getting his own identity stolen because he never got one.
That's so crazy. At the age of 16, I think it's pretty universal, but I think at the age of 16, I would have emancipated myself from my family.
Maybe he didn't know that was an option, but I wish he would have done some research, being like, how can I get away from my family? They're literally neglecting me. That's a form of abuse right there. Just neglecting him, shutting him out, because they have this somehow delusional effect that, oh, this is our son. This is our son. He's back. And then they realize, oh no, this is the different son. Like, we don't like him. Like, this poor kid needs a lot of therapy. He needs a lot of support. And it's so great when he says, I need to accept it. Like, he did still reach out to his sisters after he moved out to see if he could still reconciliate with them. Like, hey, I'm out. Is there anything we can, like, bond over? And they basically just said, nope, we still don't like you. You'll never be our brother. That just makes me so mad. Like, I think, like, if I ever found out, which I know is horrible, but if I ever found out that I had a secret, like, half sibling from some random affair, if my parents had it, which I know they didn't. They've never had an affair, but you know, those stories that just randomly come out there saying they have, like, a half sibling. I think the shock of it would be crazy at first, but then I think I'd get over it and I want to get to know that person. And right. I don't know. That's just me. That's the family-oriented person in me. I want to be close to my family. I'm very much into that. So to have your own flesh and blood just reject you, this kid's he's gonna have to go through a lot of heartache. Like, he's already gone through a bunch.
Yeah.
But I feel like this little bit of, like, family trauma that he's going through is going to really mess him up on, I don't know, he's got a girlfriend, he's still young, but I feel like it's going to really mess him up in the future when he has his own family someday.
Yeah.
I think he's going to, like, he might actually know, like, oh, I definitely know this is not how I should treat my kids and everything, but he might hesitate on a few things, thinking, like, what's right and wrong, because this is how I grew up. I don't know love. because I'm
Mm-hmm.
supposed to get it from the one peoples that should always love me no matter what, and I never got that.
Right.
So top comment was, you did not, is basically 100% not the a-hole. You did not F up your parents even more. They did that to themselves without your aid. The peanut gallery, your sisters, who DM'd you, should keep her nose out of it since she doesn't see you as your brother and doesn't want contact with you. I tell her that before blocking her. With a family like yours, who the heck needs enemies? I mean, he should probably cut contact with his whole family and just live his own life. But I don't blame him for
Yeah.
wanting. I don't blame him for wanting to still try and stay in contact.
Well, yeah, considering he's done literally nothing wrong. He wants to have a loving family.
He's existed. That's literally what he's
Yes.
doing, is existing, and
Yes.
they hate him for it. And
That is wild to me.
that
So wild.
that is a mind explosion right there that I could never fathom to experience, because that is like a huge thing in life that people need, is like that love and nourishment and care, just to feel like
Yep.
they have a purpose in the world. And for him to go through that whole experience, and he probably did feed some of it when he was being like looked at as his brother. He probably did feel like, oh, I'm being loved for and everything. I feel like as he got older, he finally realized what the difference was of why he was being treated, and he caught on to it pretty quickly.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess kudos for this kid for staying for so long with this family. 19 years of this. I'm glad he's out
It
there.
reminds me. I don't know if you or anyone else listening has ever heard of A Child Called It. That's exactly what this story reminds me of.
So, yes, I have, because I went to School of Social Work, and that was one of our studies, and a bunch of other one. But yeah, A Child Called It was when, that's what we had to do our research over, and a bunch of other true stories as well. So,
Sure.
but that right there, that's
What was his name? Was it David Pelzer or something like that?
yeah, it was like Dave or David
Yeah.
Pelzy.
Yeah.
I'd have to research that, but yeah, it's very much like that. I haven't read it for probably almost like 8 years or something like that. But if anyone, no, actually, I don't recommend reading that if you don't want to. Unless you're in a background of social work or human Department of Human Services and all that stuff, you could. But I think everyone's, if you're in that background, probably has read that or heard of stories of it. I just remember the stories of, he would go to school and he'd find the frozen hot dogs and he would swallow them whole just because he never got any food at home. Or the time when they would actually burn his hands on the stove. There's a lot of stories on there. So, yeah, no. So in this case, it's like this kid got neglected, and that is another form of abuse.
It sure is.
And it might have not shown, obviously, because they did dress him into clothes. They did take care of his hair and I guess hygiene, because they wanted him to look like his brother. But they are in some mental state that is so unhealthy for them and their child, because they're not living the way they should on being his own person. And he had some educational disabilities. He had 2 learning disabilities, but because his brother didn't have any, they basically denied him from getting any like tutors or any like counselors to help with him, because it wasn't perfectly lined up with what his brother did, which is just so delusional. Honestly, people look at this and they're like, there cannot be people out there like this. Well, there really is, and it sucks, because we need to look out for those parents and those people more. We need to look out for those kids. If you see something strange, or they're saying they don't like to go home there might be something going on. Like, you can't be too strict on it the first time they say it. But if they keep, there's patterns. You'll see it. People looking out for it, you'll see the patterns. Okay, we got to go to the next one. Okay, so like I said, crazy outcome there. You know what? I'll just go to this one. This one's kind of, you would think, on the same line, just as crazy. This was from 6 months ago. It's from r/true off my chest. So it's just someone who literally just, got to get this off his chest. Sometimes those are really deep ones. This one is titled, "My Godson took away a bed from his oldest son for talking back. I took his job away and reported him to CPS." So now we're going to find out. So he took a bed away from his oldest son for talking back. And this guy is saying he took his job, the godson's job, away and reported him to CPS. So we'll figure out what that's all about. All right, so hello all. I, 63 male, am in a desperate need of advice. I have been the godfather to Keenan, 29 male, since he and my son, Sam, 29 male, met freshman year of high school. Keenan does not talk to Sam anymore, but that is a whole different story. I started up a company 5 years ago and allowed Keenan to work for me since he just had 2 kids from 2 different baby mamas within a span of 4 months, which is crazy, and needed extra financial support. Keenan is a great employee, and I couldn't ask for anyone better. However, Keenan has a habit of harming people in his personal life. He only talks to his dad and a few cousins from his family. Keenan now has 4 kids from 3 different mothers. 5 male, 2 female, and 7-month-old male. So he's got 2 5-year-old boys, 1 2-year-old girl, and a 7-month-old baby boy. From 3 different mothers.
Oh boy.
I'd say, yeah. Oh. The first 2 were from his first 2 baby mamas, and his youngest 2 are from his current girlfriend, Isabella, 27, female. Keenan considers himself a spiritual guru and constantly follows outlandish conspiracy theories. He does not allow any of his children to have fun and will expect them to basically be perfect little servants at all times. He is literally the male version of Mommy Dearest. I know this. I'm sorry. This is starting to sound like those cultist like things where it's like the man over all the girls and he expects them to be like
subservient and
serving him basically. Oh, you must be perfect. You're not clean. You must, stay with me. I don't know. That's what vibes it's giving me. It's okay. Keenan did not have a religious or spiritual background growing up whatsoever, but he had to endure familial issues he wasn't ready for at a young age, which is what I think caused his infamous spiritual awakening when he was 16 and a lifelong taint in his personality. There was one incident a few weeks ago where his girlfriend Isabella texted me how Keenan got drunk the previous night and started to tell her about all the affairs he was having while diminishing her and saying stuff like, "I'm only with you for your body and emotional support." He eventually called her a series of obscenities, got physical, and did stuff I shall not repeat. I was so infuriated that I sat Keenan down at my office the next morning and asked him what that was all about. He literally gave me a 45-minute speech about how most women are meant to only be used for their bodies. He started spewing some outlandish bullcrap about how Isabella was likely a government spy in her late teens and early 20s that enticed targets and that she would have to pay for what she's done to innocent men and women. I told him if I ever heard of another similar incident, he would be fired. The last straw occurred last Tuesday at around 8 p.m. I'm sorry. That wasn't the last straw.
Oh boy.
I'm just like, you just named off all these terrible things he did to his girlfriend, baby mama. And you're saying if I ever hear something happen again, that's the last straw? Oh my word. Like, okay, whatever. The last straw occurred last Tuesday around 8 p.m. I got a phone call from Isabella saying that Keenan took his oldest son's bed away for a week for talking back. That was my breaking point. I called Keenan and told him to come to our local coffee shop to talk. Otherwise, I was going to call CPS right then and there. Keenan didn't deny any of the allegations as usual. He went off on a tangent about how modern-day children are corrupted and need harsh discipline. I told him after he sputtered for the better half of 30 minutes that he was fired from my company and I would be calling CPS if he didn't give his oldest son his bed back. His final response to all of this was, "You are corrupted by the deep state." Absolutely no remorse or talk about preventing another incident on his part. You're being too soft on him at this point. Like, you should just straight up being like, "You're a bad person," and call CPS.
No kidding.
Like, you're like treating him like he's a 5-year-old, like, "Oh, if you do this again," like wagging that finger at him. Like, I'm gonna give you a timeout. Like, that's what it's. The next day I asked Isabella, and she said Keenan didn't give his son the bed back, and he even didn't allow him to eat breakfast the next morning for complaining about sleeping on the floor. I contacted Keenan's father, and we contacted CPS together. When Isabella found out, she decided it was time to finally break up with Keenan and sent evidence of physical abuse and threatening text messages to the police. There is now an open investigation, and Keenan has been staying with his friend. I am most concerned for the children. The baby mamas of Keenan's 2 oldest children aren't involved whatsoever. Ooh, so he's got full custody of these 2 older kids. I have even thought about filing custody for the 2 oldest since they do not have a solid parental figure on either side. What do I do? This is also crazy. Oh my gosh. And I will just say there is no update on this. And this was 6 months ago. So I don't know if something's like, there's a lot been happening and they haven't posted. They forgot about it. U/throwaway account 1961. Obviously, it's not a real account. If you are out there, please, it's 6 months ago. Let us know if there's an update because this is concerning. These kids need safety. And if you're going to be able to give them that safety, at least the 2 older ones, please do.
Yes.
This is crazy stuff. Okay, this must be just like a crazy episode for something like this to happen. Like, first of all, that one other kid having delusional parents, going through that terrible stage of grief that they never let go. Now it's this father who's some spiritual guru
that's always a red flag.
That is a serious red flag. Like, them just thinking like, oh, what is it? I don't know how this guy became a godfather and never once thought of kind of putting in a fatherly, like just figure, kind of talk to this guy. And he basically said that he believes that kids shouldn't have fun and here we go. He does not allow any of the children to have fun and will expect them to basically be perfect little servants at all times. Like, dude, you're even writing down things that everyone would be so concerned about. Like, that is right there, that first sentence of you saying does not allow them to have fun and expects them to be perfect.
It sounds like a Ruby Frankie situation all over again.
Like, all I can think of is like these cult. Like, this guy thinks he's Jesus. He thinks he's God. He thinks that they should be perfect.
Yes, all the time.
All the time. And nothing they do can ever be looked on as bad. He basically just blamed his girlfriend that I'm doing all these affairs because you've been a spy and you've been and I'm just doing this because you deserve to be hurt because you've been hurting other people. Like, this guy's insane. Like, where do we find these people? I mean, obviously, you can find them all on Reddit. People have found them out there, but this is scary for these kids.
Yeah. I mean, as a parent, if you bring a child into the world, that is the baseline thing you can do for them. Shelter, a place to sleep, food, and clothing. Like,
Yeah.
those four things are what you are supposed to do as a parent.
And you take away the bed, and then you take away his breakfast because he complained about how it hurt to sleep on the floor. Like, I get it if we were so poor that we all couldn't fit on the mattress together and we had to have, but then even then I'd have my kids sleep on the mattress and I'd sleep on the floor. Like, this guy does not have a pure sense of love and caring and fatherness protection in his heart. This guy is so selfish. I don't know how he ended up with these two older kids, full custody, since the mamas aren't in the pictures, unless they honestly just willingly gave up. I don't know how he could have had this. And this poor girlfriend, she probably only thought she couldn't speak to anyone but the Godfather because he currently has a relationship with him. And honestly, she's crying out for help, but probably afraid for her life and the kids' life.
Sure. I mean, this guy's wackadoodle for sure.
This guy's off, like so off his rocker and everything. And yeah, they're like, what should I do? Call CPS. I mean, the girlfriend finally was like, you're standing up to him. Maybe I'll do the same thing. Great. That's a great start on her. But we got these two older kids. If she's not able to take them, step in, Godfather. You've known these kids for so long. Step in and put them under your wing. Take care of them.
Absolutely.
Like, anything would be, I mean, I can't say anything would be better than being underneath this guy, because I know people have gone through so much for being under foster care and everything, but I don't know. When he's like, "Oh, I've even thought about filing custody," do it. That's what you can do. Like, and get this guy off the streets. I don't know. This is where you would see this in a documentary.
Oh yeah. Well, are you familiar with the Ruby Frankie story?
I want to say I am. Hold on. I'm going to...
This sounds just like another case of that.
Is that the one that got... she was convicted with child abuse. But she was a vlogger, wasn't she?
Yeah, like a family vlogger. Like, she took her oldest son's bed away, his room, made him sleep in a beanbag chair.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to look into this, because I mean, the name sounds really familiar, but I don't think I know the story. I think I'm getting mixed up with some other people. But sometimes, here's the thing: as a social worker, like as my background, I do look into those things because that's just something I into. But I get into a state of where if I surround myself with too many depressing things, it kind of sucks me down. Like I can't. Yeah. It definitely takes me, like, puts me in a depressive state knowing that there's that much evil out there. And I have to take a break from it sometimes. And that's, like, healthy for everyone. Please do not. Yeah. I know a lot of women out there love those true crime podcasts and little, like, shows and streams out there. But documentaries, there's so many Netflix documentaries that sound interesting, but they're like of someone, basically that whole tale of someone getting murdered, and tales goes up to it when someone dies and everything. And honestly, it's just like, okay, I've had enough. I honestly could not get myself into true crime podcasts too many times, because it's just like, it's always sad. Obviously, someone gets murdered and we have to hear about the deception and all the things that come up to it. Of people that they thought they could trust. So, yeah, no, that's just like this whole craziness. This is definitely one of those episodes that we're definitely diving deep into what people don't see, I think, a lot of.
Yeah.
And people do need to be aware that there are people like this. Craziness stuff out there.
Yeah.
That some people you couldn't even imagine, honestly, what they're going through. And that's where
It's not just in movies.
No, it could sound like it comes from something out of a movie because you don't ever hear about it in real life. It sounds like a movie script, that it's that crazy and bizarre, but it can happen. And sometimes movies are based off of true stories. And
well, just like on Netflix right now, kind of going along with the abusive parenting, the unknown number on Netflix. If you have not seen it, please check it out because it is a real story with real text messages and real abuse, and it is just, it's astonishing.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have a top comment, and someone had posted saying, communicate with everyone other than Keenan. Isabella and the kids are the first priority. What do they want to do? They are living at ground zero, and it's their futures at stake. Let them know that your place is an option, but don't go behind their backs to file custody, which I agree. We got to figure out what Isabella's plan is because she might have been with these kids long enough that she might want to take them under her wing. Because they probably see her as the only mother figure that they've known. Since their own mothers, the two older ones, have kind of abandoned them. Or we don't know. We don't know the whole story, but either way, they don't have a mother. Basically, someone goes saying, agreed, no information should be going to Keenan. Obviously, the situation already occurred, but it's incredibly dangerous to use CPS as a threat to the perpetrator, which I agree. Notifying ahead of time opens up several possibilities. They get extra time to cover up the abuse, or a threat of being caught makes them even more dangerous. Hopefully they can open up their home so they can get out. Which I agree. If you're going to confront someone who's being like an abuser, you don't know how they're going to react. And that is very dangerous on the people back at home that they live with, because they could lash out after that. They could go dangerous. Honestly, I could see even the girlfriend or the son being killed because of them being so aggressively abusive, like just lashing out with being so mad that someone's threatening them. Like, that's a huge ego strike right there on them. And they're people like that are so prideful and so they're egotistic with, having that power. And when they're being threatened of that power, it shows the worst of them. Okay, we're going to go to the next one.
All right, sounds good.
And I got two more, so I'm going to put literally my timer of 10 minutes to see if we can get through the next one in 10 minutes. Okay, so the next one is from 16 days ago. This one is also from an Am I the A-hole, AITAH. And this one is titled, My Husband Wanted a Divorce Until He Lost His Job. Am I the a-hole to follow through with filing? I mean, the title just makes me laugh because I'm like, this is where I'm thinking, well, that was expected to happen, wasn't it? You wanted it, then you lost your job, and now the tables have turned. Now you need her. Okay.
Yep.
16 days ago, so this is still fresh, but it goes on. My husband, 34 male, and I, 38 female, have been married for 6 years together. 6 years, but together for 9. We have had our ups and downs, but the biggest down is how he speaks to me. I had our son 1 year ago when I was 10 months postpartum, and he was telling me I am fat and lazy, and all I do is take care of the baby and work. As I still had baby weight and on navigating new routines, work, and caring for our baby and 4 other children while working 40 hours a week, on my birthday, he demanded I not leave the house or he would divorce me. Just so happened my daughter had an appointment at UCLA for her teeth the morning of my birthday, so I took her. Needless to say, he didn't even say hello to me, and slept in his game room. He had been sleeping there since. It's been 2 months. He told everyone he was divorcing me, spoke to an attorney and everything before even telling me he wanted a divorce. He told me I was not the prize. I'm almost 40 and have 4 kids, 3 who are minors. He said he's the prize, he's in his prime, and makes good money, and any woman would love to be in my shoes and take care of his kids. He even went as far as inviting his baby mother into the house to visit while I was out. Fast forward, he loses, his baby mama, because they're a split house, so they have kids from other people. That's what that confused me at first. But he even went as far as inviting his baby mama into the house to visit while I was out. Fast forward, he loses his job and telling me to wait to move. He then starts talking nicer to me and acting different than before. I told him I was still moving out and going forward with separating because his actions did not align with someone who wanted to be with me. It feels more like I'm his only option at the moment. You think? Now he's going around saying I am a gold digger and leave as soon as he loses his job. He's saying he wanted to try to make it work, but I'm the one choosing to leave to all his family and friends. So am I the a-hole for following through with what he initiated even after he lost his job? Now this is a big fat no to me. No.
Yeah.
No. He started it. And even if he did finally was like, oh, I want to work it out. No, the way you treated me, I'm sorry. That is where, I don't know if it could be forgiven the way he treats you. Because it's never going to go back the same. There's a huge hiccup there with everything happening. He said things that he thought in his heart was true. And now you can't go back and just forget all those things that were said. Those were some nasty things said.
In my opinion, anyone that, or any man that says anything about baby weight, red flag. Like,
huge.
Move on. Yeah, like, no.
Like,
nope.
And I think I see, it's so sad how many posts I see of someone, of their partner, their spouse, or whoever they're with is gained weight, and they question being with them still because of that. Like, I get it if they gained an unhealthy amount of weight and you're worried for them. Because there was a post that someone had said, like, oh my goodness, they gained so much weight all of a sudden. They weren't as active as possible, and now they've gained so much more weight in this amount of months. I'm getting worried. And of course, it was a guy talking about his fiance. And she hadn't had any kids. It was just, her metabolism had definitely slowed down, and she was gaining so much weight before, and she definitely was eating unhealthier. At this point, instead of growing with her and being like, it's a together, like, hey, let's go and do more active things together. It was kind of still it was kind of towards her. So in this case, no, this guy, and then he's like, I'm still in my prime, and there's still women out there who'd like to be with you. Like, come on. Like,
that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And look she's doing so much where she's working 40 hours from home and still taking care of kids from home after having a baby like just a year ago.
Yep.
And she's almost 40. Like, get it, girl. Like, you are totally like the boss queen over here, and here's your husband acting like a pitiful fool. I want to sound like, you fool.
But he is, though.
But he is. I hate divorce. I really hate divorce. I hate how people throw it out there so quick and fast without maybe working it out. But in this case, instead of basically doing everything to keep you from wanting to work on this marriage, he's done everything. He's literally blabbed his mouth to everyone saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna dump her, I'm gonna divorce her, I deserve better. Like, why were you with her in the beginning? Like, I wonder if, I don't know.
No woman is gonna want to be with someone like that at all.
I will say, sometimes when these things, divorces, when I'm like, I hate it, but if that is what is going to make this healthier for everyone in the long run, maybe. If it goes down to Liz, like this is just nasty talk to each other. Like this, you're resenting now her for gaining that weight, for having your child. Like,
Right.
you shouldn't even be with women, honestly. You should be focusing on yourself and growing, because you're a terrible human being for thinking this way towards a woman who actually has done everything for you. And because she couldn't keep up caring for herself because she's caring for everyone else but herself, you are now resenting her for being the person, the caretaker of this whole house and family. The whole reason why your life is put together is because of her.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So,
and it's gonna fall apart because of him. So
it's gonna exactly. She was still working a 40-hour job. It's, even if she wasn't working a 40-hour job and doing all this, if she was a stay-at-home mom. Now, I don't get it when he was like, you should stay at home or I'm divorcing you. Like, but then she had an appointment to take her child to, and she's like, well, you're silly to say that because I got to take this child to their doctor's appointment. Like, she's still like carrying on, like, well, I can't, I'm not gonna not take my child to the dentist. Like, I have to do that. Right. Like, and then he like literally seriously took that and just started, I don't know. He did nothing to work on this marriage. He wanted out.
Yeah,
he didn't want
like, what did he, like, he was making all these demands, but what was he doing?
He wasn't doing anything. He wanted out of this marriage. He was doing everything he could to make her look bad. And honestly, I don't know how, because everything she said that he said just makes him look terrible. But I bet he's got people on his side. He's probably making it sound like he's done so much and probably got people on his side. And she's probably getting those messages from people, which suck. So, top comment was, he's realizing that nobody wants an unemployed, we'll say jackrabbit, because I can't say the other one, who verbally abuses his postpartum wife. Leave him and focus on creating a healthy life for yourself and your kids without his toxic behavior dragging you down. Yeah, someone said, exactly, he's just trying to save face now. She's already been through so much postpartum, a new baby, 4 kids, work, and his verbal abuse isn't acceptable. Leaving him is the right move for her and the kids. I mean, I'm thinking not just as much as for her, but for the kids. The kids shouldn't be around something like that. Like, he's inviting... Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's just being so disrespectful. He's inviting the woman that he had his first kids with in the house. Disrespectful on their marriage, literally saying to everyone, blabbing to them, he's getting divorced, spoke to an attorney before even talking to her. And then as soon as everything on his side doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, turns back around. And basically she knows it. She knows she ain't stupid. She knows that he's just trying to be nice because he's trying to get back so he, so she can still provide for the family. And so that way he's not going to be just, like, lost. And I don't know, it's going to be a huge mess for him. And it should still be a big mess for him. And I hate to say karma, but but sometimes it's nice to say karma is a bitch.
I've seen so many different instances on so many, like, Christian pages that say, I'm going to start cursing people out using biblical language or something like that. I hope your crop withers and you never receive anything.
like those most... Okay, so you know Tim Hawkins, right? The Christian comedian?
Yes.
Okay, yes. He reminds me of that. And I literally was just listening to a video the other day where he was like, I went to a show, some woman came up when I was doing autographs and she asked me for her my favorite verse, and I couldn't think of it at the time, so I just gave a random one in Psalms, and and he's like, everything in Psalms is good, right? Everything's no. So when he actually got home and looked it up, it was like, lo behold the groin in my loins or something like that, or the the pain in my loins. That's what it was. Lo, behold, the pain in my loins. And he's like, I just signed that literally to 100 people that night, saying that was my favorite verse. So I'm sorry. I think of that. I think of the funny things, like you said, you could say about, like, I hope your crop withers and dies. I hope you step on Legos every single night.
Yes, I hope your fortune is like the withered fig tree that produces no fruit.
My word. Oh, goodness. We could find some good ones out there. I swear, instead of cursing, just say some stupid, ridiculous things that obviously are painful, but are very silly things to be,
It causes people to stop and think. And while they're pondering what you said, you can secretly get the satisfaction and just walk away.
Yeah. And then you kind of think to yourself, what am I really going to curse this person out? Like, but no, that's a good way. That's a good way of doing it. Come up with some silly things that make you, like you said, satisfied. Like, oh yeah, that does hurt. Oh, I hope they step on those Legos tonight. Especially those pointy little third sharpened corner ones. Those are the worst. Or I hope slime gets stuck in their hair from their kids playing with it tonight, and then they have to cut their hair off or something.
I heard this one. Okay, really quick before we move on to the next one.
I love how we're so happy with this.
Says when you're angry, when you have road rage, but you're a Christian, it says like, I hope that while you're driving, all four wheels somehow come off of your vehicle, but you are able to pull safely to the side of the road.
That's such a Christian thing to think about. Like, I hope they hurt, but not physically, because we don't want them to get hurt seriously. Like, Lord, please let them feel something, but not too much pain, because we want them to still come out of here alive.
Right.
Yeah. It's that thing where we're too nice. We're too nice. That's what it is. It's like when people are like, really get that rage out, and you're just like, well, they're like, yeah, you want to feel them, that pain. Well, I don't want them to feel that much pain. Like, no one should deserve that much pain. Like, come on. People are like, you're too soft. Well, yes, I am. It's what makes me still be able to get up every day.
The Lord has changed me. I mean, I have my moments. I have my moments where, like, some words will slip, and I'm like, Lord, please forgive me.
No,
then there are times where it's just like, okay, I'm in control of my tongue. Like, I'm not going to say something that I will regret.
I know.
I usually have that mentality when the day is going well.
Yeah.
When the day is not going well, then my words are not.
There are so many times, like, and I don't know, sometimes with Justin, if I'm mad at him, I'll be like, you make me want to swear at you right now. That's how far I get. I just want to be like, you make me want to swear at you right now. You know that? I want to swear at you. That's how mad I am. That's how far I get when I'm, like, really frustrated. I'm like, I really want to swear right now, but I'm not going to say anything, obviously. But it makes me that mad. That's how I want to make you know that's how mad I am. That's how far I'm going to go, because I never swear. So it's like, we always say the silliest things at home. So, like, growing up, it's like, and even if we couldn't say, like, dang it or crap, because that was still considered crude language. And so it would be like, goodness gracious. And, so, like, when we would, like, do OMG, my mom didn't even like OMG because that meant, oh my God. And she's like, we don't say that. So it'd be OMGG. Oh my goodness gracious. That's literally, I had to text people OMGG because my mom did not like OMG. That's how
I get it. I totally get it.
I know, I get it too. I really do, because if I hear my own, like, I don't even, like, we didn't even say oh my gosh as much, because I say it now, but I try not to, because when I hear my 5-year-old the other day say, oh my gosh, and I'm like, what did you just say? Like, almost thinking he said God, and I'm like, Yikes.
Things get differently out of the mouth of babes. You know, I've trained my kids. I say, "Oh my word! Oh my stars!"
Yeah. Holy
Like,
cow. Holy
yes.
cow.
Yeah.
Ours was when it was like when people would say Jesus Christ, we would say Jiminy Crickets.
Yes.
We'd say Jiminy Crickets, or Jiminy, or we'd say Jiminy Christmas or something like that. But we'd literally just say, yeah, we just be. I'd say something and people would say, "What did you just say?" I'm like, this is my potty mouth. This is what comes out of my potty mouth. It's really not that bad, but you guys say that.
OP.
Yeah.
Jeez, OP. That was like,
Yeah,
that
really.
was like the thing. Yeah.
Jeez Louise. I say Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. I say that constantly. I'll be like, Jeez Louise. That's just.
I feel like we need to bring into rotation, like, either really old Victorian sayings or like what
we
they
need to guess
say
what they meant. We need to guess what they. Like we'll have a word of the day, and we'll guess what that meant back in like either this time or even the crazy thing is what maybe the slang means today. Because I'm gonna. There are still like words even like in the Gen A. That I'm like, there was a middle school teacher or someone that was saying like, oh, okay, if you ever heard your kids say this, this, and this is what they mean, and I'd be like, what did I just listen to? Because that sounds like nothing like it's supposed to be, or it's just so weird. It's so whack. It's so weird. Like, I don't know.
So I just typed in like Southern slang for what you could say instead of OMG. Oh, law. Like, oh, law.
But you have to do it in a Southern accent, Molly.
My land. Lord have mercy. I never.
Well, I'll never. No, oh, my Lanta. That's what I remember. Oh, my Lanta.
Bless your heart.
Oh, I love that. Bless her pea-picking heart.
It's another way to kindly say the F word. And you.
Well, okay. There's a bless her heart, or there's a bless her heart. Like, I remember seeing a video of someone, literally these older women were saying like bless her heart, and then they would translate it into the she or she a ho or something like that.
And then there's, yeah, goodness gracious, and then you said that. Heavens to Betsy.
Heaven to Betsy. I swear I would talk when I was in the call center. I would talk to people, and no, I am not being mocking about it, but when I would have people from the South talk to me, I would start talking in a Southern accent. It was like contagious. It really is contagious because I love it so much. It's just so sunshiny, like just so positive.
It feels so good.
It does. I literally start talking back in like a Southern accent, and it's so crazy. So I feel like if I try talking, I love talking in British accents, like just randomly too. And I just do it randomly all the time at home, like, you know, like, I can't even do it right now because I'm going to be so bad and probably offend people, and I'm not going to offend people tonight. Let's go to what's the last one? So give me one more.
So I did the same thing, but in Victorian.
Oh, my goodness.
Good heavens, my word, God blimey. Or Great Scott. Great Scott.
Great Scott. Oh, man, I have to. Great Scott.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh, my word. Okay.
I am done.
We're either going to offend people by doing this from now on, because we're going to try it in the accent. Or we're going to give people a good laugh, and I'm hoping it's the latter. Okay, we're going to go into our last
with an open heart and an open mind.
Yes, that's the thing. Let's go into these new years with everyone. Let's not get offended easily, okay? Let's take everything, like you said, with an open mind, an open heart, and everyone just laugh. Just laugh, okay? Seriously, don't take it to heart. You know, just be open to it. And if it really does, like if someone's saying something, if we're saying something, honestly, if we're saying something that is honestly offensive, like in another country or something, please tell me. Please tell me. Don't let me keep saying it, because I would be that person that would keep saying it stupidly, openly in front of people. And before, like, probably someone finally comes to me saying, hey, don't say that. It means this and this, and you're really offending people. You're telling that their children are. No, I can't even say an example because I don't. It's literally like when someone speaks in a different language and they're like, I said that right? I said that I wanted to go to the store and get some apples. No, you just said that you wanted to buy some oranges and put it up there. Boop. And yeah, that's what I don't want to do.
Don't want to do that.
Nope, don't want to do that. Okay, we're going to go to the last story here before we keep getting ourselves carried on. But remember that. Bring a list next time we do that. We'll bring a list. We'll do that. Yeah. Okay, this last one is from 11 days ago. It is from my person I love, one of the people I love, the YouTuber, Charlotte Dobre, YouTube. And she recently just got married. So congratulations, Charlotte. Sorry, I had to put that out there. It's not like I follow her on Facebook. I might. Because I sometimes follow those people. This one is, am I the a-hole for refusing to switch hotels for my family members' kids? And we're just going to go on to the, What could that be about? Okay, so it starts off as, hello, amazing potato people. Once again, I have come before you to ask if I am an a-hole. So this ain't her first rodeo. So she's used to maybe asking if she is an a-hole. Sometimes if you feel like you have to ask too many times, maybe you are. I don't know. I mean, no, I'm kidding. It's just maybe just a Reddit thing, I guess. So I'm still new. So it goes into, so let's get into it. I, 34 female, booked a vacation to Cyprus at an adults-only hotel. Now, don't get me wrong. I adore kids. Heck, most days I act like one. I definitely also like that. But I spent most of this summer babysitting and watching family members' kids so they could have some couples time or just a break. So I decided it might be nice to book a 5-star adults-only hotel where I could relax after 2 months of running after nieces, nephews, and little cousins. I managed to score a great deal and booked a week at the Amavi Hotel in the Paphos for a ridiculously low price, including flights. While setting up this trip, my cousin, let's call her Dee Dee, and her 3 kids were staying with me since hotels in my area were insanely overpriced, and I live in the vacation destination and a 4-minute walk from the beach. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure this person lives in the South. Maybe. I don't know, just the way she's talking. Because she said, I'm going to name my sister Dee Dee. I feel like that's such a Florida or Georgia name that you would give someone. Dee Dee. Okay. Yeah, seriously. Bless her heart. Sorry. Okay. My cousin's son, let's call him Matt, overheard me telling a friend about my trip, how everything was booked, and me, meaning we, my boyfriend and I, were all packed. He immediately ran to his mom and asked if they could come with me. Without thinking, Dee Dee said, "Of course we can. Your auntie will find us a great deal and we'll all fly out together." I was dumbfounded. I pulled Dee Dee aside and explained the deal was for an adults-only couples hotel because I wanted to spend quality time with my boyfriend. We'd both been extremely busy with work, apartment hunting, and me babysitting kids all summer. Dee Dee just shrugged and said, "Well, then just call the company and switch hotels. What's the problem?" I told her I wasn't switching. My hotel was part of a special deal. I even offered to help her find family-friendly hotels and gave her options. She looked, then turned to me and said, "Wait, but if you won't be at the hotel, who will help me with the kids?" I was waiting for that. I said, "I don't know. Get a babysitter, bring your mother, discipline the kids so they behave better. Pick one." She got upset and called me rude and selfish. She claimed that since I don't have kids, I don't understand how important vacations are for parents, and that she deserved a break too. I reminded her that I've been watching her kids every day after work for the past 4 days while she was staying at my place, so she was already getting a break. Her response? So what I have to be with them all the time, the least you can do is help out once in a while. You're not married. You have no kids. You basically have nothing to do with your day. And this is where I may have been the a-hole. I told her flat out that I don't owe her anything. I was already doing her a favor by letting her and her kids stay at my place since they couldn't afford a $500 night hotels. I am not her childcare. Then I asked her how she expected to afford a vacation like mine when she couldn't afford a hotel in our own country, especially with 3 kids. Her answer, you guys can just pay and I'll pay you back when I have it. I mean, you don't have kids and your boyfriend makes great money. Tell him to pay for us. He won't mind. The whole you don't have kids things keeps getting brought up way too many times with this person.
Yeah.
She goes on saying, I don't know if entitlement was on sale that day. I like how she writes. Or if there was a clearance on Audacity. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me just read this again. This is awesome. Nope, it's okay.
Sorry, I had to go get some.
Blow that little nose. Yeah. It's allergy time. Okay. I don't know if entitlement was on sale that day or if there was a clearance on Audacity, but I wasn't having it. I told her she must be high if she thought we were going to pay for her and 3 kids. She got upset, packed her stuff, and left to stay with my mom, as I was being a bad host. An hour later, I get a call from my mom and her mom asking how I could kick her out at night with 3 kids. It was 6 p.m., and she left voluntarily. I explained everything, but they sided with her and told me I should just pay. I told them if they wanted her to go on vacation so badly, they could fork out the $4,000 and babysit too. Later, my mom called back after learning Dee Dee twisted the story, claiming I was flaunting my money and vacation in front of her kids to make her look like a bad mom. For the record, I work 10 to 12-hour days and hardly have money to spare. My mom tried to keep the peace, but eventually realized I wasn't budging. Then last night, I learned from my boyfriend that after leaving, Dee Dee actually called our travel company and tried to switch my hotel bookings to a family hotel, adding a suite for her and the kids, plus business class flights. She even lied, saying I wanted to cancel my trip to spend time with her. The agent thankfully called my boyfriend to double check. For context, my boyfriend is extremely generous, the kind of person who would literally give his coat, hat, and shoes to someone freezing in the street, and has, literally, last winter. If I had asked if he probably would have paid for her vacation without hesitation. But since she was being so entitled, I refused to even bring it up. She's already raising her kids to be entitled. I wasn't about to enable it too. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? I don't think so. No, I mean, in this case, no. Your sister, or is this sister or is this a cousin? I can't remember. Where does it say? Top. Dee Dee. Cousin. This is a cousin. She's been looking after her cousin's kids all summer. And I hear this story enough times. Someone who has kids is kind of overwhelmed. Obviously, I don't see a husband with this cousin, so maybe he's working so much, she's kind of a single mom, acting like one, or she really is a single mom with 3 kids, and that is a lot of care, that is a lot of work, and you can definitely get very tired from watching over 3 kids all the time. So this person, the OP that's writing this, has been very great and watching over her kids every day in the summer so she can have like at least 4 hours to do things herself. That is, I think, very generous, and I don't even think she's being paid for it. So
doesn't sound like it.
No, so for all of a sudden to just agree to go on vacation, not knowing the price or if there's kids or anything, like I'm honestly the person where if my in-laws asked me to join me somewhere, I probably would ask so many questions to being like, oh, what about this? What about prices and this? Even if they offered to pay for it, I would still be like, wait a minute, that's a lot of money. Are you sure? Like, I don't want to be a bother or to be an inconvenience. I'm so that person. I just don't want to be an inconvenience. I'm a people pleaser too, so that can be bad sometimes. But other times like this, like I'm over like worried about like I don't want to do too much. Like I don't want to be a burden on you, especially with bringing 3 kids. It can be a lot when you're bringing 3 rowdy kids and you can't always control them, and that's just parenthood. But what can you do sometimes? So that's sometimes I'll warn people like, are you sure? I have 3 kids. It'll be a lot. So in this case, this is the opposite, where cousin was, I would say, yes, very entitled, thinking that OP's going to just have her boyfriend, not even someone she's married to, her boyfriend just paid for everyone. Like, it's just expected. Like, never expect to get paid for things. Never expect to be given things out for free. Like, that is like, I think it was what we talked about last time. That's like audacious behavior for people just to think that way. Yes, yes. So I think when she said, basically when she did say like, what do you want me to do? And she's like, find a babysitter, ask your mom to watch, teach your kids to behave better. Like, I think that last part might have been a little rude, but honestly, that's the only thing that I could have said, like, yeah, do you have to say that? Probably not. You could have just said the babysitter or have your mom watch. But everything else I totally agree with. So,
yeah.
And I hate it when people that are, like, they are so selfish and entitled change and twist the story up so much to other people. When they're like, oh my gosh, she's flaunting her money and her vacation at us. And I'm like, no, she's probably just talking to someone else and the child heard and they just honestly no. So yeah. We have lots of comments from OP, but I think because OP is very active, we're going to go straight to the updates. Because we want to get straight to them. We want to get straight to the point. Okay. So, okay, there's quite a bit. So we're going to really get into this. Update. Oh, hold on. This person's very active because she's got some family that she's got to deal with. Her other story, I'm looking on her thing, is saying, am I the a-hole for getting mad at my dad for trying to trade in my car? Like, that's another one I'm not going to get into, but I feel like she's got some family things going on.
Clearly.
Clearly. Okay, so this is update, and it says, this was from, the story was 11 days ago, and then a day later she posted an update part 1, but I haven't seen a part 2 anytime, so we'll see what the part 1's about. Okay, so she says, hello once again to all the fabulous potato people. Is she from Idaho? Because unless she's, I don't know. I don't know if that's like a thing from Charlotte or if that's because she's from Idaho because of potato. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she's an Idaho person. I don't know. But I'm just guessing out here. It could be about anything, and it's over my head. Okay. I come to you with the first update. First off, I wanted to thank all of you for your endless support and for making me feel better about everything that is going on with my family. Your comments have shed a lot of light on a few things I overlooked in the past. I decided to start off this post by answering some of your questions before spilling the petty revenge and play. To answer some of your questions, where are the kids' fathers? My cousin claims that 2 of her children are from random one-night stands and that my family pressured her to keep the babies and promised to support her the whole way. Okay. The youngest son's father is actually a really great guy who is sick of her behavior towards him. She once got him arrested after telling the cops he assaulted her. Oh, I'm surprised she's even looking after her kids the kind of person she is. This is definitely a southern family because there's definitely sticking together through the good ups and downs, even if they are some bad apples in the family. Okay, so His assault was yelling at her to stop spending all the money he gives her on herself and to spend it on his son for a change. She called the cops and he was arrested in front of his son. He lost his job because of this and struggled for a while. Luckily, he got back on his feet, but avoids all contact with her. She makes it impossible for him to see his son and tends to speak ill of him to Matt, what we will call her youngest. Why I stay in contact with her at all? Okay, that's my question I want answered. I adore those kids. They are amazing kids and they deserve better. Okay, I get it. I do the same thing. I'd be there for the kids too. It's for the children. For the children.
So did you say this is taking place in the South?
No, I'm just I'm assuming that. I don't even know. I know I said potato people, so I said Idaho, but that's not a southern state.
No, but like it is. I looked up that term to see if it was like a slang in southern states. It says potato people isn't a standard southern slang for a specific type of person. However, tater or tater tots is a common southern slang for potatoes. Yeah, we knew that. Potato, in quotes, can informally describe someone as lazy. So
well, that's Reddit for you.
So a potato person could be a lazy person. I don't know if that is what
we're all here scrolling on our phones, so I'm guessing that we are considered being lazy right now. We're looking for tea right now. We want her to spill the tea on her juicy family drama that she's so probably loving, enjoying, and being a part of right now, while we get to listen and read about it. So, I mean. Hey, okay, I guess we're potato people. So, but she did say where she was staying at was a 4-minute walk to the beach. So she's got to be close, by the ocean.
A coastal state or something.
Yeah, she's probably got a beach house that's really close around the area if it's a 4-minute walk. So yeah, I can only imagine she's probably from the South. I mean, yeah. Okay, so. She goes on, therefore, I made sure that they know that what happens between me and their mother has nothing to do with how much I love them and how much they mean to me. Their mother and I are just not seeing eye to eye at the moment. However, we will find a way to spend time together without her. I don't believe her kids should be punished for her behavior. They already suffer enough from feeling like their fathers abandoned them. Why her parents don't do anything about her behavior, her mother is the reason she is like this, to be honest. Since she is the youngest out of 5 kids and the only girl, she was spoiled to no end. When she came home pregnant, her mother promised her anything to keep the baby and, of course, delivered. By her 3rd child, she pretty much demanded to be treated like a queen. Her father, on the other hand, is actually a really good man and is very embarrassed by how his wife and daughter behave. My uncle did most of the work raising their 4 sons, and it shows, as they are all perfect gentlemen. He managed this while running a business and making sure his wife had everything he could possibly ask for. However, when their daughter came along, my aunt took a bigger role in raising her than she did her other 4 kids. My uncle has tried a few times to reason with his daughter in the past. However, it always turns into a huge deal where her mother takes her side and he is left feeling horrible with himself. Which, you know how that is. They get in conflict with one parent and they run to the other parent. And then instead of that parent teaming up with the other parent to try and be like, oh, what's going on? Oh, no, your dad's right. You shouldn't be doing this. No, it's like you're just showing now. You're just saying, oh, honey, sweetie, you can have whatever you want. You are literally showing her that no matter what is wrong, you can still just get your way by complaining and whining. And yeah, I could see how this person was raised the way she was. And yeah.
My response, for example, when it comes to my own kids, my kids come to me and ask for something or trying to get what they want out of me, I would say, what did your dad say? He said, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, that's my answer. Goodbye.
Yeah. I think the funny thing is when I'm kind of in the middle of something and I'll be like, I don't know because you're putting me on the spot right now. I'm like, go ask your dad. And then they'll go to him and he's like, what's your mom say? Well, she asked me to go to you. And I'll be like, oops, I've been caught there. But a lot of times the same thing. Like, if they ask me, and I might have, like, heard them asking Dad, and he said no, and then they come to me, and I'll be like, you know you're going to get in trouble for asking me. You better not ask me the same thing, because if your dad finds out, ooh, buddy, you're going to get in so much trouble. I'll be like that person where I'll be like, do you want Daddy to know that you're saying this to me? You're going to get in so much trouble with Daddy. That's the thing. I never put Dad as the bad guy always. I definitely I'm strict on them too. But man, oh man, no matter how much, and I don't want to say threaten, because I don't threaten my kids. It's just, I'll say, like, do you want a spanking? And I'm sorry, I will spank my kids. We don't have to do it very often because they really don't want to get a spanking. And yeah, that works. I don't remember the last time I actually spanked my kids because you threaten it enough times.
Last resort discipline is what I always say.
Yeah, honestly, it is.
We have to let it escalate in our house, like verbal warning, then we start taking things away, like toys, and then we start taking privileges away. And then it's like, okay,
yeah,
I've had to have the same conversation with you now, like 4 times. The next time I have to do it, you're going to get physically disciplined. You're going to get spanked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm all for it because especially if you take those steps. Don't always have to be your boom first thing. But I do threaten it because I'll be like, because every time I try and say it, like I will do it, it just doesn't hit them. But when I say, when your dad gets home, you know what he's going to do. I literally will say, you either get no, I'll take something away, or you can have that, but Daddy's going to give you a spanking. And then they'll always rather have the thing taken away than get the spanking. Yeah. So, but hey, it's, kind of a win-win because usually I say I'll take your tablet away. And they love their tablet, and we're trying to get less time of it anyways. So it kind of works out sometimes that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just how it goes. But yeah, that's just, I feel bad because those people sometimes out there that like had other kids or they were an only child, and there was always that one kid who just was just treated like the princess or the prince of the siblings, or if they were an only child, because they could just never do so. They were just so proud of them for every little thing they did, even though it was like, okay, that's a little extreme, right? This seems a little extreme, and yeah.
I'm an only child.
Oh, well, not everyone. I'm saying there are certain, you just can tell. Not everyone, though.
I'm just kidding.
No, no. I can't say it because my cousin is an only child, and I swear, my aunt would give the most outrageous threats all the time. We would go boating. They'd have a boat. We'd go to the lake because we'd go camping, and we'd be out there, and we're in the boat, and we're going, and she'd always do these outrageous, not realistic threats of what she was going to do to punish her. And we'd like be on the boat. She'd be like bad mouthing or something, and she'd be like, I'll put another name, but she'd be like, Joanne Lou. She's like, if you say another bad word, she's like, if you don't keep being bad, we're gonna turn around and I'm gonna leave you on that island over there by yourself, stranded for the rest of the day. You don't get to have any fun with your cousins. And she'd be like, I'm gonna pull right onto shore right there in the middle of nowhere, and I'm gonna strand you there, and you don't get to be on this boat for the rest of this day. Like, she'd just do this most unrealistic, because I'm like, well, obviously we can't do that because that would be child endangerment, leaving a kid by herself on the shore. And we were like, maybe like 7, 8, 9.
But would she ever follow through with something like that?
No,
like, even if
never follow through. She'd never follow through. But my uncle was a fireman, and he was a big guy. So honestly, you probably never wanted to. And he had a really strong grip. So I can only imagine if he did spank, it probably didn't feel good the first time, and you learned not to do it. You never meant to mess with them again. But
yes.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, it's not for everyone, but you can definitely tell, like, even if, like, you have, like, I have my in-law, my brother and sister-in-law, they have 2 boys, and they have their 3rd kid, and it's a girl. It's, they wanted a little girl. They got 2 boys, and they have their girl, and this is their last kid, and I could already tell. I'm like, oh yeah, she's their little princess. Dad's literally, she's got her finger, or Dad's finger wrapped around her. Like, honestly, it's like yeah, I already can tell how spoiled she's going to be. That's just, so we're going to see how that happens. And Mom just, I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see with these kids. It'll be interesting. But, it could be, our kids could just, as much as we want to say we do the right thing for our kids, who knows what they're going to end up being like. I pray every day that they're going to be good kids. Yeah. So that's all I say. Okay. Okay. Anyways, it goes on saying that the uncle deserves better. I often ask him why he stays with my aunt, and he usually just chuckles and says, love will turn seeing men blind and strong men weak. I might not always love my wife's actions. However, after 40 years, I can't imagine a day without her. And you know what? Good on him. He's sticking with his wife. Even though he doesn't agree with her on things, he's still with her and loves her. So that's kind of how marriage is. We don't always see things eye to eye. But
we always say we can agree to disagree, especially if it's on a minor issue.
Exactly. Because we're not going to make a small issue become a bigger issue than it needs to be. You think that way? Fine. Is it going to hurt me? No. So we're going to move on past it. So, okay. So where is my father in all this? The OP's father, that's someone else who asked that. My parents are divorced, and my father wants nothing to do with my mother's family if it isn't directly connected to me or my siblings. He claims that my mother's side of the family is a manipulative cult, and if not for my mother, he would recommend that I cut them all out of my life for my own peace of mind. He also thinks my uncle, Dee Dee's father, has no backbone and will say and do anything just so the loon he married won't yell at him in public. I mean, that also could look that way too. From what we've heard or seen from here. Okay, so my father is not one to meddle in my life when it comes to his ex's family, but he is always the first to tell me to cut everyone off except the kids. There is still hope for them. Does my family help me the same? Yes, Dee Dee's brothers do. Like I said before, my cousins are perfect gentlemen and have always appreciated my help. They buy me gifts, send me to the spa days as a thank you for helping them out with their kids, and have been deposited large amounts into my bank account when I was struggling after getting my degree. They never let me pay them back, nor do they ever bring up the things they have done for me. From watching over my dog while I was in the hospital to accommodating any request I have to do the best of their ability, they are truly their father's sons. And now the update you have all been waiting for. I forgot. We have an actual update. Goodness gracious. Okay, last I left off, my boyfriend and I were having a late dinner when he told me she tried to change our travel plans to better suit her. As he told me this, my mind ran straight to revenge. So we know how this family works. Now let me make this clear. In my relationship, my boyfriend is the level-headed, calm, and collected side, and compared to him, I am typically the crazy one. I tried to enjoy my dinner, but I couldn't stop thinking about how she behaved, and if maybe I was in the wrong myself somehow. Fast forward to last night, after reading all your comments and feedback, I had a craving for some petty revenge. Reddit, seriously, why do we have to go to revenge? They're all like, revenge, revenge, revenge.
And be so petty while at it, right?
I mean, I get being petty, but we'll see. I invited my boyfriend to spend the night at my place as it was finally empty, and of course he agreed. When we got home, I jumped into the shower and told my boyfriend to put something on for us to watch. When he turned on the TV, it was still connected to my main computer as I had been working on it and never switched it back to cable. He quickly noticed that someone's WhatsApp was logged into my computer. This computer broadcast to all 3 smart screens in my place. Since I used my main computer mostly for work, I had never connected WhatsApp to it, and certainly not WhatsApp app. He was confused. He knocked on the... Do we know what WhatsApp is?
Yeah, it's just another separate texting app.
Yeah.
Like if you're, it's
It's
used
just
like,
no.
yeah, it's used like if you're going to be like separate. Like it doesn't really rely on cell data.
Okay. Like I've heard of it, but I was just like, don't you have something directly in your phone? But maybe it's something better for like other services,
I mean,
service
Josh and
lines.
I've used it before with each other. Like,
Is it like if
like
you're okay?
been out of country.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, okay. So that's what I thought. It was kind of more for like if you couldn't use it
Mhm.
in service in your like in your location area,
Yeah.
or
Yep.
service level of areas. So yeah, okay. Now I get it. I've heard it so many times, but I was like, it said it so many times in a row. I'm like, okay, am I seeing this right? Okay. He knocked on the bathroom door and asked if I had maybe connected to my personal WhatsApp to the computer. I said, no way. It would be a huge security breach. I quickly realized that the only person it could have been would have been Dee Dee, as two of the kids were too young for a cell phone, and the oldest doesn't even know WhatsApp web exists. I leapt out of the shower and into the living room kitchen to check who was logged in. When I say leapt, I meant jumped out completely naked into a part of the apartment that is mostly windows. Yes, I know, not smart. My boyfriend threw the couch blanket over me before running to close the curtains. I, however, was more interested in the WhatsApp she left open than whoever might be seeing me naked at 1 a.m. A little tidbit we didn't really need to put in there, but whatever. When I'm like reading people, I'm like critiquing them. I shouldn't be, but I just every time they put in so much detail, I'm just like, do we really need to know that? No, not really. We didn't really need to, but whatever. It goes to the story. My boyfriend told me the best thing would be to log out of her account because it was her personal and private conversations, and it wouldn't be appropriate to snoop. Yeah, no, that's not what she's gonna do. Oh, what a noble boyfriend. He's so kind. And she's like, this is the best thing that could ever happen to me. All right. Unfortunately, he must have forgotten that he's dating a crazy, petty person with a thirst for revenge. Before he even finished his sentence, I had already copied and backed up everything she had on WhatsApp onto a USB in case she logged me out from her phone. My boyfriend decided it would be best to take the dog out for a long walk since he knew I was going to do the opposite of what he recommended, as always. Hey, out of sight, out of mind. I didn't see anything.
I guess.
Yeah. A few minutes after he left with the pity, Dee Dee's WhatsApp started getting messages from an unknown number demanding a DNA test and to see his son. Apparently, Dee Dee had no idea she was still logged into my computer because she started answering. I could see all of her conversations happening live and documented everything for later. Turns out Dee Dee had lied to quite a few men about who the fathers of her two older sons are. She had 4 guys on the hook believing they were the father and demanding paternity tests and visits. So many possibilities ran through my mind. It was overwhelming. When my boyfriend came home with my pup, I started spilling everything I had just read and how she was scamming these guys into giving her money, telling them they were her kids' fathers while telling my family she had no idea who the fathers were. I must have been speaking too fast because he was so confused, so I decided to show him. As he stood in front of the screen reading the messages, he noticed one of the numbers looked familiar. He clicked on the photo and realized one of the men was someone he worked with in the past and knew from up north. Being the honest and sweet man he is, he wanted to call the guy immediately and tell him he was being scammed, but I had something else in mind. I begged my boyfriend to wait at least 12 hours so I could put a plan in place. He was reluctant at first, but when I explained my plan, he got on board quickly as long as I promised that whatever revenge I inflicted would not harm the kids emotionally. They are going through enough and should not be a part of this. I agreed completely. When I was sure my cousin had gone to bed, I messaged all the men she was fooling, pretending to be her, and told them I was finally ready to let them meet their son. I wrote each message a little differently, using information from their previous chats. After each one accepted, I deleted the message from the chat and recycled bin so she would have no way of knowing. I set it up so they just needed to come to a restaurant my family often gathers at. Whew. They would see Dee Dee and
Yikes.
I mean, this is going to be
Oh.
messy. Messy. Bring on the tea. They would see Dee Dee and demand to know where their son was in front of her parents, my parents, her brothers, and whoever else was there to witness the mess. Then I messaged my family group chat, apologized for my behavior, and said I didn't want to be the reason the family was divided. Oh, you know, she's so sweet. So innocent. Little did they know. I offered to host dinner at our usual place, and of course, they loved the idea. I did this knowing she would show up smug, thinking she had won, only to be faced with the consequences of her actions in front of everyone. Since I didn't want to traumatize the kids, as my boyfriend and I agreed, and I didn't know if one of these men were actually their father or just another victim of her lies, I asked the dinner be adults only and offered to pay for a babysitter. One of her brothers couldn't come anyways because his wife didn't get along with their mom, so he offered to watch the boys. As soon as I got a rough head count, I called the restaurant and reserved a table right at the entrance on the deck. The restaurant is in a park, and the entrance is visible from almost everywhere, so the potential fathers couldn't miss us. The dinner is set to take place tonight, so I will make sure to update tomorrow with all the tea. Wish me luck, potato people. I'm gonna need it. With the potato emoji. She's very into this potato people.
I guess.
But here's the thing. She says at the end that, so I will make sure to update tomorrow with all the tea. This was 10 days ago. 10 days ago. I need an update.
Yeah.
I need to know
what happened.
I need to know what happened. Even, I bet it was such a mess that, yeah. But that was, like, a day later, she has all this information from one day about knowing about the WhatsApp. And
right.
Who knows if it was such a big mess, she's either trying to get away from it and keep it behind her, or she's still dealing with it 10 days later. I don't know.
Oh, dang.
Her username is Motormouth5620. So Motormouth5620, please put another post on Charlotte Dobre YouTube's post or on your profile and update us now. We need to know. I want to know. Did all the fathers come? Did we find out who the father is? Is this Jerry Springer's show or what's the show like? Who's the father? You are not the father. Is that Jerry Springer?
Yeah, but it was also like, was it Mollie or what?
Oh, who was that for? Oh yeah, Maury Povich, or is it Povich?
Yes.
Maury, yes. Yeah. You are not the father. We need to know who is the father.
Right?
So, oh my word. That is such a classic scam for a mom to do that. To get, like, from all these people saying, like, hey, you're the potential father. And they're like, that's the thing. Never, ever agree to send money to anyone that you're not 100% sure with until you get, like, official documents saying that you either are a father or mother, or I guess, I don't know, there's like so many other things that people do, like boyfriend scamming, like, oh, my mom's in the hospital, like long distance scammers and everything. Like, there's so many out there. The Nigerian prince.
Oh, goodness.
I heard one recently that someone had, I think, messaged an elderly person saying, like, oh, Brad Pitt, I'm Brad Pitt and I need money. I'm like, they're like, oh no, Brad Pitt needs me. Like, no, Grandma, Brad Pitt doesn't need you.
Brad Pitt doesn't even know you.
Brad Pitt doesn't even know you. He's got plenty of money, Grandma. Don't worry about him. It's a scammer.
Or what I was thinking too when you were telling that story, like if this mom, because how many kids does she have? 3?
Which mom? Which one? So the cousin Dee Dee, she is a family of 6. She had 3 older brothers, and she was the youngest.
Okay.
I don't even know the OP's siblings. She's got siblings, but I don't even know about them. I think she's really close to her cousin.
How many kids does Dee Dee have?
I wanted to say 3, but I think it's only. Oh no, she has 3. 2 are from one night stands. The third
Okay,
one
that's
is
it.
from a person they actually know, but the father's not around because they're crazy. Dee Dee's crazy.
Well, I could very well see her like trying to get money out of these like groupings of dads just to say that their DNA test was like true, and like she just seems like she'd maybe be that type of person.
Yeah. No, no, she does. The way she's already been, she's very entitled, she's selfish, she just expects things to happen. She's already had 2 one night stands that she literally only agreed to keep the babies because her mom was like, "Oh, we'll do everything we can to support you and help you." But it's not enough. She wants more. So she's going to try and get, someone probably gave her the idea saying, "Oh, well, if you kind of know who this one night stand person is, you might as well try and get money from them. Let them know they have a kid." And with some people will fall for it, especially if you butter up to them like, "Oh my gosh, the kid has your eyes." And, they just want to know about their father. And I thought I'd reach out, but I'm in a pickle right now. He doesn't have like shoes to wear this school year. I don't know. I don't know how people could lie so much and be able to live with themselves without
Right. Not only that,
being
but
so
like,
guilty.
how could you be with so many people in that way and not? I don't know. I guess I'm just so. I don't know.
Right?
I mean,
We're so bad. We are literally lost of words because we can't even imagine being that cruel of a person, being that manipulative of a person. Like, that is crazy, bat crazy stuff happening that just seems like yeah, you just hear from scammers. You hear you always hear about scammers, and you hear about like, "Oh, be careful for this," but it's like crazy things that you hear from other people and you're like, "Oh, that's never happened to me." Well, this actually does happen. Like, I swear, this is the theme. People don't think this stuff happens, but it actually does. These crazy scenarios that people don't see very often because it seems like it's from a movie.
Quiz is just so off the wall. It's just so like not in the ordinary. Like, I don't know how things usually go in a routine. Like, just so like out there that it's so hard to fathom that something like this could actually be real and happen to a real person. So
yeah. I will say the comments are of the update. People are like, first of all, some people they're so contradictory on this. They're like, "I don't believe a word of this, but still update me." They're like, "Same. I don't care if it's faker than my prom nails. I'm here for the update." And they're like, someone then is like, "This is too screwy to be fake."
Oh my word.
Some people they're trying to think if this is even a real story or not. I don't know. There are some stories out there that honestly I could believe it happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy. It might just be real.
You might have to kind of like flag the few stories that we read that don't have updates, or the 2 or 3, I can't remember how many, and come back to those and check in and see if they have updates.
Yeah. I usually always keep the post in my email folders of each stories that we've done for each episode, and every once in a while I'll go back and I'll push on it and see if anything's popped up. There's like a bunch of stories that I still have that I'll have to be chosen to be read, and I'll even see if they're still around, which is bad because sometimes I don't get to them in time and screenshot them. If sometimes those good ones that are like really crazy will get deleted before I even can get to them. Which, there's so many out there. It's fine. But no, that's where some of these I didn't even know. Like this one, I didn't realize there was an update till just a couple days ago, and I'm like, maybe I will read this one because. But I didn't realize there was only a part 1. I honestly thought we were gonna get, because the update I haven't read, so I was like really thinking I was gonna get like, oh, we're gonna get to the end of this. And sadly, that happens to some of those really big juicy ones that just don't happen. Like they don't get closure within just a few days. It like sometimes it takes months before we finally get like an end result of what everything happened on the on the whole situation. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to flag this because she said the next day she was gonna post an update and she never did, and I want to know, did the fathers come? I mean, I can only imagine with how this family is. It definitely, nothing went down quietly. I bet there was an uproar, and it was messy and very public.
Sure.
So
For sure.
Okay, that is the stories I have for you today, guys. That was a doozy of an episode with crazy outcomes. So like I said, were these stories, with even being the titles read, expected of their outcome or unexpected? I think one was definitely expected, the divorce one. Yeah. That was definitely expected. Yeah. The rest of them were definitely unexpected stories when you dive deeper into it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Like, maybe the title and the end run, like, oh yeah, definitely not the a-hole or definitely this. But, yeah, that's a little bit of a crazy scenario right there you don't hear every day. We got spiritual gurus, sons that are trying to be duped into being a ghost of a brother. We have a maid of honor who actually ghosted and never came to the wedding, which is happening this next weekend, which I swear, I think a couple of these I'm going to have to look back to see if anything happened in the next week. Yeah. So, who knows? Maybe we'll have an update episode sometime. So, and come up with all the updates.
Dedicated to just updates.
Literally, sometimes I feel like maybe I will. There was one episode I just did the other day where an update happened. Literally, as I was editing the recording for the episode, and I'm like, you know what, I don't know when I'm gonna get to this, and it's a good update and I think it gives it closure, so I actually did record it while I was editing to put it in with the story. So I was like, I just gotta give the people closure. I can't do this with this knowledge I have now. So okay, wow, I said we were gonna go shorter with this episode and we didn't. Mollie, what's wrong with us? We like to talk too much. I didn't even do my timer like I said I was going to do. By the time I was doing it, it was too late. Plus, we kind of got sidetracked on the whole Southern and
phrases, words,
phrases. So, okay, guys. Well, that is today's stories. If you have any suggestions or comments or questions, you know what you can do. You can email at the Reddit Randos at okay, here I go again. The Reddit Randos at gmail.com. It'll never get easier for me. I'm too much of a klutz in my mouth. Okay. But another thing you guys can do, again, I'm going to mention it, is that I'm seeing a lot of people listening and downloading, but I'm not seeing enough likes and subscribers and ratings. So come on, people, do me a little favor. Make it an early Christmas gift for me, please. Please. Or an anniversary gift, because, I just hit my 10-year anniversary with Justin, and he's a big part of this podcast as well. So maybe if you want to show us some love, like and subscribe, rate us, love us. So I'm going to throw everything I have out there for you guys, okay? Because I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep doing this for you guys. If you want these stories, you gotta help me to help you to help me. So, okay. Well, that's it. Do you have any suggestions you want to see in the future, Mollie?
I don't know. Just, yeah. Reddit's a vast, deep,
it's a universe.
Deep rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole. It's a secret Alice Wonderland universe of its own, I swear, because it's not even a part of the real world. So
I would totally be in for talking conspiracy. That's totes my jam. So.
Okay, yeah, we need to get into that. As we get into the fall, we get into those kind of creepier things. We're going to do that. We are going to do that. I just actually got to do the research. And sometimes those Am I the A-hole ones are just so easy to come by. And just they're so intriguing with their titles. Oh my word, it's so hard to stay away from them, but I just get sucked into those Am I the A-holes ones. So obviously when we say the words so many times, Am I the A-hole? And it's like obvious in the story. Like, absolutely not. I just wanted to read the story because the title was so crazy. Literally, that was the whole reason of it. But we will get into some definitely more variety of themes, maybe some crazier stories that we don't hear as often, like that are just downright unbelievable. Actually, I feel like I do that every week. I bring a story that we obviously would never hear every single day. So we'll do that. We're going to definitely get some more ideas. If you guys have ideas, spit them at me. I would love to hear about them. But other than that, we're going to go to bed. Yeah,
I am.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing next. I want to say I want to go to bed, but I might stay up for another hour or so to get things ready for the next day because we got school. Woohoo! So, okay, guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.